Hey guys, my name's Jenna, and if you're new here, my husband and I spent the last couple of years making our home in North Carolina our dream space, but we couldn't ignore the nudge to move back to Arizona where we had originally moved from. So we packed up all of our belongings and headed back across the country on a week-long road trip where we made some fun stops along the way. And once we arrived in Arizona, we got settled into our temporary rental, and we had so much fun making that space match our style and giving it a cozier vibe. And while we were there, we kept an eye out for our dream home, which we had been looking for years at this point, and honestly we were starting to lose hope that we would find anything that excited us until we toured this one home. We immediately fell in love with the mountain views and recognized all of the potential that this place had. The only problem was that it needed a lot of work. I'm pretty sure the house hadn't been touched cosmetically since it was built, so we had our work cut out for us, especially since we're working with a limited budget, but the views and the bones are what sold us. So follow along as we renovate and turn this house into our dream home. Okay, so this video is part 4 in our renovation series, and last week I showed you all the transformation and process of painting our existing windows black. It definitely took a lot longer than we thought, and I was rushing to finish this project after Mike had to go back to work, but luckily I got it done just in time. Okay, so it was a good thing that I took these down yesterday because like a half hour later, our plumber showed up to install our faucet, and oh my gosh, it is so pretty. I actually found this on Wayfair. I'll link it right here, and it was relatively affordable compared to other brass sinks that were out there, but I just think it has such a beautiful European feel to it. He didn't hook up the water because we still have to do our dishwasher, so we're waiting on that, but we got the little disposal button, and then also this is such a pretty piece, but it doesn't have a sprayer, so I wanted to have a sprayer so we could clean the sink and everything and like reach down in the corners. So I got the little sprayer accessory, and I just think it looks so pretty. I love the polished brass. This will not patina over time. I debated getting one that was unlacquered brass, but I just like to clean things and I like to clean them easily, so I went with this one. But it looks so pretty, and we will have brass hardware, so that will kind of tie in. Right now it looks a little out of place just with like its shininess, but I think it's so pretty and just like a gorgeous piece of kitchen jewelry. And then also the guy came to install our oven yesterday, but unfortunately this was just a little bit too tight. So the cabinet guy is gonna have to come back to alter the sides a little bit so we can squeeze that in there. But we were originally gonna get an induction oven, but once we started looking, everything that was in the 36-inch size was over $5,000. That looked pretty. Obviously you could get a cheaper one, but I wanted it to kind of be a statement piece. So those were all like $7,000, $8,000. So we decided to go with electric because this one was actually really budget friendly. And I also feel like it's really pretty to look at. And then we can always upgrade to induction down the line once we have more of a budget for it. So if you guys remember in last week's episode, I skim coated our backsplash wall with joint compound just to get rid of the knockdown texture so that we could have a flat surface to apply a lime wash treatment to. So when lime washing, priming the wall is really important. So we came over here one night after work and applied a coat of primer just so I could start lime washing the next day. So at first I was just gonna go for it, but I was using a color of lime wash that I had never used before, so I decided it would be best if I tested it first. So I just found these little drywall boards at Lowe's, and I decided to test a swatch to make sure the color was right before applying it to the wall. And I just primed the board, and then I purchased this affordable lime wash in shades Avorio White and Noob Gray. And I also picked up this mixing container with a lid from Lowe's so that I could store my lime wash mix when I was done, just in case I needed to do any touch-ups down the road. So my goal here was to make a warm, putty, off-white color that looked bright, but still had some earthy undertones to it. And there's several online lime wash paint companies that are great if you're looking for a very specific color, but because I just wanted a simple, bright neutral, I figured that making my own would be a lot cheaper. So this was the color that I came up with, and I liked how it wasn't a super bright white, but it was still light and airy and had that subtle earthy look to it. It wasn't an exact science, but I ended up using a rough ratio of 4 scoops of the white combined with about 1.5 scoops of the gray. And this specific lime wash was meant to be diluted, so I just added water until it was a more watery consistency. And I would say that roughly you would want to use about equal parts lime wash mix and water. And also when you're applying lime wash, it is helpful to have a plastic spoon or something on hand to mix it with, just because the lime will actually settle in the bottom of the container as time passes. So you just want to make sure that you mix the paint often when you're working with it. Also, it's pretty much necessary to have a lime wash brush, which will help to give it a much more organic and natural looking application. And I'll link a couple good ones in the description box, but after applying 2 coats, I decided that I wanted to darken my mix just a little bit. So this right here got me to that original ratio that I talked about with the 4 parts white to the 1.5 scoops of gray. And for the mixture, I really was just eyeballing it. And if you do that like me, I would recommend doing it in large batches, or just being aware of the rough ratio that you use, because if you have to mix up more partway through your project, it can be a little difficult to match. But luckily with lime wash, it doesn't have to be exact like a regular paint would, because the whole look is supposed to have some texture and variation anyway, so I didn't have a problem with it, but just something to keep in mind. Okay, so this is what the sample looks like against the wall. This is just the plain drywall with just kind of like a putty white color. So the camera isn't really picking it up, but this has some warm undertones to it, which I do like. It's not like super gray or anything. I feel like on camera it's looking really gray, but we would be doing this entire wall up to this corner. So a big part of the kitchen, honestly, would be that color. So I'm liking that it's still light, but it still has some color variation. It would add some texture and just be a little bit something different other than like the white that we have all over the house. So I think we're gonna go with this. I'm happy with it. It's a budget-friendly option. I am gonna look into getting a sealer. So I'm gonna seal it just because this is gonna be up against where we're cooking and everything, and I don't wanna have it, get stained. So I'm gonna look into that, but I think we're gonna go with this. So applying lime wash might look intimidating, but truly it's a lot more forgiving than it looks, because the end goal is to get a textured organic feel. It doesn't have to be perfect, but my rough technique is to only dip a little bit of the brush into the lime wash. A little bit goes a long way, and you wanna just spread that out as far as it will go in all directions. And these are referred to as clouds, and you basically just wanna form clouds and then connect all of the clouds together with a tiny little bit of overlap. And honestly, whenever I would watch lime wash tutorials when I was looking to learn, not a lot of people would talk about how to do the corners or the edges. So my technique was to simply just take a smaller brush and apply the lime wash into the tight corner or on the edge, and then I would go over it with my lime wash brush just to smooth out the texture. And that's really it. It's a super simple process, and once you get started and get the hang of it, it's honestly really fun and therapeutic to do. Okay, so I'm in the middle of this project and I've been very indecisive what I want to do about the hood. If I want to lime wash it along with the rest of the wall, or if I want to keep it white. And I just consulted Mike and we're both in agreement that we want to keep it white for now. And I think that will really help to contrast against the lime wash and make it feel a lot more warm and textured when you have that bright white to contrast against it. So I'm going to leave it white for now, and then if I don't like it, I can always go back over it with lime wash later. So we're going to continue lime washing the wall and see how it looks. Okay, so actually, I changed my mind again. I think that I'm just gonna go for it and lime wash the hood because it will be pretty easy if I do decide that I wanna paint over it later. I can just paint over it. Right now I have the lime wash and everything set up. It's all mixed and ready to go. So I think it will be pretty to have it continuous, and it'll kind of just give it that like organic plastery look, which is what I'm going for. So either way, it would look good, but there's a part of me that just feels like this kind of looks unfinished almost.
And you won't forget that face, that I believe in what we had. Holding on, how much can we both take when life isn't at home? I can't hear what you say. Strong nights burn brighter, that makes us two fighters. And what I'm asking tonight is, could we get back to where we started? Strong nights burn brighter, that makes us two fighters. And what I'm asking tonight is, could we get back to where we started?
Okay, so it's the next morning and I am obsessed with how this turned out. It's that organic, natural, textured feel that I was looking for, but it's still really subtle and natural feeling. So my original plan was to do 2 coats, but the more coats that you put on, the less textured it looks and the more solid it gets. And I'm really happy with how it looks right now, so I think I'm just gonna leave it with 1 coat. And with a lime wash in a kitchen area, you really should seal it just because it's in such a messy area, and because of its matte texture, it does absorb grease and spills and things like that. But right now we're tight on time and I don't have the time to put the research into finding a sealer that won't take away from its beautiful like limey texture and finish. So I am gonna try to find some sealers and test it on our piece of drywall that we did. But like I said, we're in a tight time crunch, so I'm just gonna leave it for now. And this isn't a permanent solution for us. This was just kind of an affordable placeholder to make the kitchen look pretty until we can afford to put a backsplash in, maybe some stone or some tile. But I think for, you know, $60, this did a really great job at giving the space some texture and visual interest and just making it feel really earthy and organic. Okay, so next I wanted to install some light fixtures since we had the painting all done and there wasn't any furniture, so it would be easy for Mike to set up the ladders and install them. So if you remember, we had this light fixture hanging in our rental, so we brought it with us and installed it in our front living room. So that'll be nice for an added pop of contrast with the black accents and all of the natural woven detail to help add some warm texture. So another place where we needed to add a light fixture was the main living area. I always like to check the designer outlet stores to see if I can find any discounted deals, and I was able to find this $900 Luca iron chandelier for $250 because this specific outlet was having a huge lighting sale. So luckily, Mike has gotten a lot of experience with installing ceiling fans and pendants lately, so he was able to install this one for us, and I love the look of it. I love the classic feel and the interesting lines and how it helps the space to feel true to that Spanish style. So that's about it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's renovation video. Be sure that you're subscribed and that your notifications are turned on so you don't miss next week's finishing touches video. I just want to thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week. See you guys in the next one. Bye!